Hello and welcome to my presentation. This is an artifact assignment and it is on emotional abuse. This assignment is meant to spread more awareness on emotional abuse. So this project on emotional abuse is brought to you by YouTube and Facebook. Please enjoy. So what is emotional abuse? Emotional abuse is one of the 5 main forms of abuse, of child abuse. Child abuse is doing something or failing to do something that results in harm to a child or puts a child in risk of harm. The definition of emotional abuse is a way to control another person by using their emotions. What causes emotional abuse? A simple thing that can cause emotional abuse is bullying by children or adults. This can happen simply by putting each other down, embarrassing the person who is being abused, by saying, mean things to them, like, oh, your shoes are ugly or your hair is ugly, those kind of things. There's worse things you can say, but those are some of them. In addition, if someone is causing a person to have self-doubt, ignoring or excluding them from hanging out with them or any activity, and can cause the person to feel guilty, that is also a cause that can cause emotional abuse. And basically, anything can be done. So if you ignore them or the society is too much or anything or expectations, the family has really high expectations, and you ignore the child, and then you tell the child like, oh, you're expected to do better or anything like that, but you say it in like a rude tone and you don't help the child, that can cause emotional abuse. Who does emotional abuse affect? Emotional abuse can affect anyone at any age, so anyone at all. But in Ontario in 2018, at least 12% of children were emotionally abused, and that was only in 2018. So imagine if we double that number with COVID going on and the pandemic and all that, that has probably gotten significantly worse because children have been doing online learning and seeing their friends and not seeing their friends. So you never know. Furthermore, emotional abuse can affect families and friends of those who are going through the emotional abuse, as it can take a toll on absolutely everyone's mental health and well-being. So please remember to take care of yourself, even if you're dealing with a situation like this or dealing with a child that you believe has been emotionally abused. Please remember to also look after yourself. You're also important. Some signs of emotional abuse. So emotional abuse can have many signs to look out for. They can be both physical and behavioral. So I'm going to break down both of those. First, we're going to start with the physical signs. So physical signs to look out for when it comes to emotional abuse include frequent headaches, nausea, so feeling like you're going to vomit, abdominal pain, wetting or soiling a bed after they just had a nap. That might be unusual, might not have happened before that often. So, or if it happens often, that kind of thing. And having an unusual look. So if they dress in like a fancy dress all the time and all of a sudden that changes, or their hair used to always be like pretty and pink and all of a sudden it changes to being kind of like really knotted and everything, those could be physical signs of emotional abuse. Furthermore, now we're going to talk about the behavioral signs to look out for. So some behavioral signs to look out for include stress, withdraw from the environment around them, anger, so being really angry, eager to please, so they want to please the caregivers that they're at school with, their teachers or any of that. They want educators. They want to please them by getting like an A on the assignment. If they don't do that, it is a sign, and they get upset, that is a sign of emotional abuse. They can also run away and assume the parental role. So they can look after their younger siblings at a young age as well, and they mature a lot faster, which is unfortunate. So those are the physical and behavioral signs to look out for. This slide is what to do if you think emotional abuse has occurred or happened. If you believe a child in your care, or even your neighbor comes over that's a child and talks to you, and you think they've been emotionally abused because they verbally told you, something happened, so and so on and on, please listen to them and reassure to that child that they did the right thing by telling you and that they did not do anything wrong. In addition, remember to stay calm and not show your emotion. So if they're telling you something that happened at home and they got yelled at like really bad by their parent or their caregiver, don't cry because of what they said. Just kind of keep a straight face and just stay calm, because you don't want the child to see you cry, because then the child will be like, oh, did I say something wrong? Or they'll like, maybe they'll be unhappy because you're crying. So just remember to stay calm. Furthermore, this is important. So if you're already an early childhood educator, please follow your duty to report. If not, anyone can report to CAS, which is Children's Aid Society, by the phone, or they can go online to their website where you can report a concern. But I believe calling would be the best thing to do to get in contact with anybody. In addition to CAS, citizens can also call 911 if they believe it is an absolute emergency for the emotional abuse case, or you can use the non-emergency police line that is also listed there below. These are just my references for every page I used, for all the resources, every website where I got the images. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and that you've learned something.